Today we need to talk about T.O.P and his mental health. I also wanted to get into some of the recent backlash that was seen on his page over the incident in which V followed him. And of course, we need to get into V getting emotional and allegedly addressing something on radio. So hey dumplings, it's Dave Jasa. Hater or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. Grab your dumplings, hey spilling mug merch, and let's go. If you aren't aware, V was recently invited to be on the radio. It wasn't just an interview, but he was invited to literally host and be a radio host for a little bit. I don't think he was a host for the entire day. I think it was just for a few hours, but I could be wrong. This was a bit out of nowhere for me, and I had no idea this was going to happen. So I was shocked to see how many people actually ended up showing up outside the radio station to greet V and say hi. V even waved multiple times to everyone outside waiting for him, and even when he left, he made sure to pose in front of the cameras and greet everyone nicely. In case you are wondering how reporters and fans know about when idols make an appearance, or at an airport or anywhere where we see this huge crowd waiting for them, it's not always the case of stalkers and sasaengs selling idol information, because let's be honest here, when idols get their information stolen, it's one or two people that now have that information, not hundreds of people. So if this was a private thing, we'd see two people outside the radio station waiting for V. Likely what happened here is that the artist's PR team let reporters know that V was going to be at this radio station, and sometimes reporters will live stream, live tweet, or just tell people about the event hours before the event, and then tons of fans will show up. A lot of the people that show up likely don't have anything else going on that day, so once they get the notice, they can jump to it and head over to where they want to be. We often don't see these same fans show up because most people have either school, work, or whatever. However, this is not the super important bit we are talking about today. Apparently, some people are saying that V actually addressed dating Jennie during his moments on this radio show. Now, we don't have video of the full radio show, and anyone can make anything sound like another person, as well as a mistranslation since it's from Korean to English. So please take it all with a grain of salt. However, allegedly, V talked about how he has a person now that makes him really happy and makes him really enjoy life. Of course, at this time, the V and Jennie rumors were just starting up and at their peak, so this of course would make people think that he was referring to Jennie. However, there's literally no evidence of the two together, and if it's public knowledge that the two are together, why wouldn't he just say her name? Likely, I assume that V is talking about a friend or a moment that is making him currently happy. He might be happy to spend time with his family more, or see his friends more now that his schedule is much more chill. Someone who makes you happy definitely does not have to be in a relationship, but either way, I hope the happiness that V feels lasts a long time, and he continues to be happy regardless of what other people say. Because there's a lot of people that seem to like V or say that they're fans, but don't want V to do anything. If you're unaware, V recently followed Big Bang's T.O.P, and we can assume it was likely an accident, because it was a similar situation like what happened when V accidentally followed Jennie. V quickly unfollowed T.O.P, so it was either a mistake or he realized that T.O.P might get too much backlash, and so he just unfollowed. This came at an interesting time because Jimin and Taeyang worked together on a song, so it could be that V just felt like they're maybe more accepting of Big Bang and BTS working together, and Suga had said in his show that all the boys love Big Bang, so V must have felt excited to maybe follow his idol. By the way, if you want to watch me react and fangirl over Jimin and Taeyang's new song Vibe, I will link the Patreon down below. We have a limited $1 tier that is still open. I'd love to see you there. But anywho, it did turn out that T.O.P actually got a lot of backlash from just that follow V did. So much so that apparently people were going to T.O.P's Instagram account and leaving hate comments in some of T.O.P's recent photos. I knew that V got some backlash or hate over this situation, but I had no idea that T.O.P's account was receiving harassment, because T.O.P didn't do anything. It's not like T.O.P followed V. So I didn't even consider there would be hate for him. People were asking T.O.P to stay away from V, which likely the two didn't even interact. Some said that V would never follow T.O.P on purpose and that T.O.P should not feel flattered if he did, and then others say that Big Bang must have drugged V. This makes me very mad. Both V and T.O.P are iconic artists in their own way and in their own time. Big Bang has had their moment in the sun, and I believe they still do. To be quite honest, I don't think they are starstruck when another T.O.P artist interacts with them. Out of the millions of people that follow members of Big Bang, there's bound to be hundreds or thousands of celebrities that follow too. In fact, it would be quite weird if many celebrities do not follow the OG K-pop star that have paved the way for the newer generation. And then I'd also add that Big Bang didn't do hard drugs. It's not like they're doing cocaine. It's weed, and in most places places it's perfectly legal. If T.O.P had done it in America, it probably would not have been a big problem. I was definitely scared to see that T.O.P had gotten all this backlash over literally nothing happening. Like, imagine waking up and getting these hate comments, vomit emojis, and people telling you that you're worthless and you did absolutely nothing. Like, as far as the public is aware, T.O.P wanted to take a break from the spotlight and the industry. I think for most people, being famous sounds wonderful. They think it's the biggest pride of all artists. Meanwhile, most artists and creative people do not care about the fame aspect. It's more of a side effect of creating art that you like to create. And many veterans in the industry will probably tell you that they would prefer to have a career without the fame, paparazzi, and hate comments. T.O.P has responded or believed to have responded to several hate comments in the past. There was an incident where a girl left a comment saying that they hate T.O.P and Big Bang. T.O.P seemed to be very bothered by this and allegedly reposted the comment. Obviously, the person who wrote this comment got some backlash, and then they ended up saying that they actually love T.O.P. I don't know if this is a backtracking situation or they actually did like Big Bang and T.O.P, but just wrote that she hated them just to get attention. But anywho, it happened. Attention got. From these responses, we can see that T.O.P is a bit more sensitive to these comments. As far as hate comments go, this definitely was not anywhere near anything that bad. So I can't even imagine how much he would struggle reading the really bad viral ones, especially after his scandal. It was even more sad how recently it was reported how T.O.P was feeling after everything that had happened in his life in the last few years. T.O.P did an interview with Prestige Online and he broke down the real reality of being an idol. T.O.P talked about his depression and how art was his escape from depression even when he was younger. T.O.P talked about how he always felt like he was most sensitive compared to the other kids in his grade. And for this reason, it actually makes sense why he could turn to things like alcohol or weed, because I think we've all done it where we need something to take the edge off. And if you're a person who already has a lot of feelings, then you might feel like you need to feel normal to function. Trigger warning here, T.O.P then revealed something very scary, which is that he talked about how he had attempted to unalive himself many years ago. And he felt like he had given a lot of really bad and painful memories to the people around him. After reading this and knowing this, I want the people who have left hate comments, although those people are not watching this, but if you are, I want you to look at the person who you're writing these things to. Telling him really mean comments and saying mean things to someone who is already extremely on the edge. What if this backlash was the thing that pushed him over the ledge? I don't think you'd be able to sleep at night knowing that. Because while it's probably never really going to be one comment that will cause this, it can definitely be one comment that triggers a lot of emotions, and one that the idol will think about during the last seconds that will push them to that point. Please be kind and stop sending hate. People keep saying it's a small minority of people leaving hate comments, but when it's an Instagram comment section filled with comments like this, it's hard to believe it's a small percentage. But what do you think about this? Do you think T.O.P will be okay reading those comments? Do you think he should have gotten those comments? And do you think V addressed Jennie in his recent radio hosting gig? Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out my Patreon for more videos, link down below. Thanks to this lovely comment right here. Love you. Bye.